This article is a thoughtful, a good, well-written article. All of these are about Korean-Japanese relations. And although the point of view was the World Cup, and this was written, I think, in 2001, the year before the World Cup took place, still, the author is exactly right, in my opinion, and I think most people agree. First, both Korea and Japan lobbied so hard in order to host the games, that the directors of FIFA, among whom Mr. Jung, the Hyundai guy, anyway. So the idea of co-hosting was a very good idea. Initially, both countries were disappointed, but they got over it. They worked together, and on the whole, the success of the 2002 World Cup was so huge, especially for Korea, that really FIFA deserves a lot of credit. Now, whether relations have improved or not remains doubtful. According to this author, and I think he's right, until, from the point of view of Korea, of course. And by the way, this should not be treated as Korea is angry at Japan, Japan is angry at Korea. No. Korea is angry at Japan. Japan has no right to be angry at Korea. Over what? Comfort women? No. Japan's not angry at Korea. Korea's angry at Japan. This is not some dispute. Japan's position is indefensible, as morally indefensible. They conquered, they misused and abused, and they should say they're sorry. But because of the Japanese character, or at least the conservative element of Japanese character, and the conservative element in the Japanese society, they are unwilling or unable to, not they, all of them, just that conservative element, in my opinion. I think many Japanese, even most Japanese, would be willing to apologize. But that conservative element, I don't know much. Just an opinion that's not worth much, maybe. Disables them, makes them unable to make that final step of apologizing for the comfort women and for atrocities, medical experimentation, and some terrible things. And the author's conclusion is, until the Japanese can do that and acknowledge some of these things in the textbooks, the infamous history textbooks, Japan and Korea will never be close. Well, that's a very good conclusion, a very intelligent conclusion, and I would say indisputable. Time, however, has produced a gradual de-intensification of that dislike. But I hope I've clarified some things, if they need clarifying. This is not Japan angry at Korea. What reason does Japan have to be angry at Korea? No, Korea angry at Japan. And that's number one. And number two, this gradual but very slow de-intensification of hostility felt by Koreans toward Japanese. I had another idea, but I've lost it.
Korean-Japanese relations. 1. What did FIFA decide in 2001? 2. Why are Korean and Japanese relations shaky? 3. When will Japan and Korea be able to be close? 4. How do many Koreans feel about the Japanese? 5. How do you, your family, and your friends feel about Japan? Why?